everybody, and welcome back to the second episode of Iron Sky Mission Log. The reason I'm here and the reason we came to Los Angeles is actually twofold. Basically, first is we want to meet possible future partners, as Tero explained in the earlier episode, ones that agree with our strategy on distribution and so forth. The other reason was that I had a chance to work with my scriptwriter Dalan Musson for 2 days. We already have a sort of an early version of the script, which we always call the 0.7 version of the script. We're already really happy with that, but we knew that we need to tweak it up, we need to tighten it up a little bit before we're happy to sort of start really calling it the first draft. I want to take you guys to meet Dalan. He is, in addition for a really good writer, also a great person and a good fun and a nerd in his heart, just like all of us.
I grew up on video games and comic books, and that was always where my sort of nerd focus derived. Sci-fi movies, video games, tabletop role-playing, Dungeons and Dragons, all the old Palladium stuff. Yeah, books, lots of sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, the old school, like, crazy 80s, like Jim Starlin, Dreadstar, and like Nexus, and just the weird independent press comics from the 80s, all that kind of stuff. I could basically just lock myself in the room for the rest of my life. Timo and I don't know if they know you're behind the camera, Timo and I got introduced when Timo came on to direct another script that I had written, and we got on like gangbusters. It's kindred spirits. It's like, I don't know, like, however far away we grew up from each other, it's like, we read the same comics, and we watched the same movies. And so, we sat down on this other project, and just everything fell into place. And it was like, what about this? Wouldn't this be cool? Like, we could do this, let's do that instead. And Timo said to me, would you be interested in writing Iron Sky 2? And immediately, I just went off in 10 different directions at once. So we had talked about it a little bit, and when things started to get serious, I got flown out to Helsinki, Finland. I got off the plane, and I grabbed my luggage, and Timo met me at the airport, and he looked at me and he says, "You do have warm jacket, yes?" And I said, "Oh, it's in my luggage." And he says, "You should put on now." And I just remember the double doors of the airport opened and this wall of cold, like someone cast a magic spell at me. And I just thought, oh, okay, now I get it. So I haven't practiced this, but I'm gonna try my best. So, the last survivor, Earth has been wiped out in a nuclear war. The surface of the Earth. The last survivors of humanity are trapped on a moon base, on a base on the moon. But the moon is starting to fall apart. It's being destroyed, and they know they don't have a lot of time. And they find out that their last hope is to travel to the center of the Earth and find the Holy Grail, which is protected by an ancient race of reptilian humanoids that is responsible for the destruction of mankind, and they have an army of dinosaurs. Sometimes I've noticed that, like, too many cooks spoil the broth, but I feel like here, like working on Iron Sky 2 especially, there's not a lot of intervening steps between the writer and the people that are ultimately making the movie. The film is a very, very collaborative process, and this has been one of the easiest collaborations that I've had.